morning, everyone. I am Dr. Charu Agarwal. I am working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in AKGEC Engineering College. In my today's lecture, I will be covering the subject Project Management and Entrepreneurship. Subject code is KHU 802 and the topic is Entrepreneur. Now, what actually we understand by the entrepreneur and who we call the entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is considered as a person who sets up his own business or industry. He has initiative, drive, skill and spirit of innovation who aims at high goals. So we can consider a person as an entrepreneur who actually have some innovative ideas also and want to establish his own business or industry. He must have some skills or drive and the spirit of innovation or some innovation ideas in his mind that actually he want to convert into a business so that it will be helpful in the society. The entrepreneur is the individual that identifies the opportunity, gather the necessary resources, and is ultimately responsible for the performance of the organization because he is the person who sets up his own business. So he is actually responsible for whatever be the performance of the organization, whether the organization will go in the right direction, in the wrong direction, or whatever be the resources that are needed in the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are actually considered as an action-oriented person. They are highly motivated individuals who take risk to achieve the goals. So from all these 3 points, what we considered as that the entrepreneur are having some innovative ideas in their mind. They want to convert their ideas into the actual business. So they are the owner of the business. They actually identify the opportunities that are available and they need to also gather the resources, arrange the resources that actually we need to run that particular business. Okay, and they are ultimately responsible for the performance of the organization for all the decisions that they are taking, whether the decisions are right or wrong. Okay. They play a vital role in the economic development of a country also because when they set up a business, they ultimately contributing into the economic growth of the country, whether they are, if suppose they are developing or manufacturing any kind of the product that earlier we actually import from the other countries. But if they develop such kind of the product within the country, then what actually happens that they are developing some substitute product for that particular product that we are actually importing from the other country. And what actually after that happens that it will lead to the reducement in the dependency on the foreign countries also and ultimately reduce in the foreign exchange values also. So this is the so if we consider in the French word, basically this word entrepreneur, this comes from the French dictionary, like the entreprise word is there, which means go between or to undertake. So according to the different dictionaries, what is the meaning of this particular term entrepreneur? Now according to the Webster dictionary, the entrepreneur means one who organizes, manages and assumes the risk of a business or enterprise. That person is considered as an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneur, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a person who undertake an enterprise with chances of profit or loss. Okay, so enterprise is basically the entity that actually the business you can say that ultimately comes out. So person who takes who actually developed that enterprise or who is the owner of that enterprise and he has the capability that he actually take both the profit and loss in an equal manner. Okay, so entrepreneur is a person who undertakes a business activity of which he has no background and faces considerably risk in the process. If either of the two elements, that is no background or considerable risk, is missing in the venture, it is not considered as an entrepreneurship. Okay, so this definition is from the Oxford Dictionary. Now next we have the enterprise definition according to the Oxford Dictionary. That is the meaning of the bold undertaking. Then we have the entrepreneur. According to the New Encyclopedia Britannica, what is the meaning of the entrepreneur from the some other dictionary? An individual who bears the risk of operating business in the face of uncertainty about the future conditions. Okay, so entrepreneur, according to this Encyclopedia Britannica, an individual who bears the risk of operating business in the face of uncertainty, because you have some idea and you are going to implement that idea. So you don't actually have the certainty in about the future, that in future in what direction your business will go. So that totally depends about the conditions that you face, what are the decisions you will be taking, what are the resources available to you. So all these things depends on that. So this is one of the definition given by the New Encyclopedia Britannica. Now, about what is the definition of entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship, it is a philosophy or process through which an entrepreneur seeks innovation and employment. So, entrepreneurship is considered as a philosophy. Basically, entrepreneurship is the process through which actually entrepreneur develops that particular organization or all the steps that are involved in the development of that entrepreneur. Okay. And and in that, the innovation and the employment both are involved in that. Now, so there are the three main terms that we are having. One is the entrepreneur, other is the entrepreneurship, and the third term is the enterprise. So, entrepreneur is basically the person who actually have some innovative idea and want to develop or want to set up some business so that he ultimately implement that particular idea that will be helpful to the society also. Okay, now entrepreneurship, now the process that the entrepreneur follow to in developing that particular business, that process is considered as an entrepreneurship. Okay, and the business that comes out after all these steps, that considered as the enterprise. So that is the object. Okay, so the person that is involved in that, he is considered as an entrepreneur. The process through which he develops the business, that can be considered, or the philosophy, the policies he follow, that considered under the entrepreneurship, and the enterprise that comes out, that considered as the object. So these three are the three main terms, and we need to must have in our mind the difference between the entrepreneurship and the enterprise. Now, from the different economists like the Richard Cantillon, like from the other persons, what is the basically what they feel about this particular term entrepreneur. According to the Richard Cantillon, as a person who pays a certain price to a product to resell it at an uncertain price, thereby making decisions about obtaining and using the resources while consequently admitting the risk of the enterprise. Okay, so according to Richard Cantillon, that entrepreneur is a person who basically has the capability of taking the risk. Okay, so major here the word is the risk is there, because in everything risk is involved, whether it is in the decision making process or while using the resources. Then we have the another renowned person, Adam Smith. According to the Adam Smith, an individual who undertakes the formation of an organization, according to Adam Smith, who is the entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person or an individual who undertake the formation of an organization for commercial purpose. Okay, so when we are developing any business, that is actually for the commercial purpose also, and we want to have the money and we want to pay. We actually want to build some reputation in the society also for commercial. So the who undertakes the formation of an organization for commercial purpose by recognizing the potential demand for the goods and services which are actually needed in the society, and thereby act as an economic agent and transform the demand into supply. Suppose if you are working as an entrepreneur and you have established a manufacturing unit, in that case you are actually manufacturing some product, and ultimately that will be satisfy the demand of the persons in the society. So they are working as a agent who actually transform the demand into the supply. Then according to the Peter F. Drucker, an entrepreneur is the one who always searches for changes, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. So according to the Peter F. Drucker, entrepreneur is a person who always searches for the changes, that what I can do so that whether that is a manufacturing unit or the service based industry, that will be helpful to the society, and whatever be the services that are provided before that how can I improve that. Okay, so they respond to it and they exploit it as an opportunity. Peter F. Drucker basically believes in that the entrepreneur believes in increasing the value and consumer satisfaction. Thus, a professional manager who mobilizes resources. Mobilizing means collection of the resources. So, he is a professional manager who actually mobilizes the resources and allocates them to make a commercial gain from an opportunity. It is also known as the entrepreneur. So, according to Peter F. Drucker, if we repeat it, that he is the person who always searches for the changes. Actually, he is the entrepreneur is basically responsible for the mobilizing all the resources and allocate those resources so that the maximum benefit from those resources can be gained. Then, according to the Francis A. Walker, the true entrepreneur is the one who is endowed with more than average capacities in the task of organizing and coordinating the various other factors of production. He should be pioneer and the captain or the leader of the industry. So, the entrepreneur is the leader of the industry who actually make the decisions. He is the person who has the ability to take the risk. He is the person who actually transforms the demand into the supply. He is the person who mobilizes the resources and uses those resources to their maximum efficiency. Then, according to the Joseph Schumpeter, that entrepreneur is an innovator who carries out new combination to initiate the process of economic development through introduction of new product, new market, new source of raw material, and establishment of new organization. So, the process of development is a deliberate and continuous phenomena which is actively promoted by the services of a change agent who provide economic leadership. To sum up this, so the entrepreneurship can be defined as a systematic innovation which consists of the purposeful and organized search for changes and a systematic analysis of the opportunities that such change might offer for economic and social transformation. Okay, so entrepreneurship is defined as a systematic innovation or the process through which actually we develop the organization and organize the searches, and it is a systematic analysis of the opportunities that changes might offer for the economic and social transformation. Now, the next one is how the evolution of the entrepreneur took place from the past. If we consider or divide it into the periods, that in the period 1, that's the entrepreneurship in the ancient period. In that case, we generally have the dharma and manusmriti, and the entrepreneurship is and the enterprises that are basically from the agriculture, handicraft, iron, cloths, in livestock. Now, in case of the period 2, entrepreneurship is the pre-independence era before 1850, like. So, at that time, basically, mostly the entrepreneurs are related with the agriculture, metalwork, handcraft, stone carving, jewelry, Marwaris, Gujaratis, Jain. So, people are basically involved in the any kind of the business life. Now, the period 3 that we are considering from the 1850 to the 1947, in this particular era, the Britishers basically started harnessing the natural resources of the India to their own advantage. So, simultaneously, they are developing the roads, railways, ports, etc., but they are harnessing the natural resources. So, at that time, basically the enterprises are involved in the jute, textile, tea, coal. And this is the basically era of the emergence of the Parsis entrepreneurs. And also in this era, there is Swadeshi movements are also, Swadeshi movement was also there, in which the people are basically want to use the products which are made within the country, don't want to import the products from the other countries and don't want to use that. Now, the fourth period that we considered is during from the 1947 and onwards. That's a post-independence. In this particular area, there are the evolution that done in the entrepreneurs. Industrial policy revolution (IPR) is there in the 1948. Then we have the Marwaris, who basically builds the Birlas like Dalmias, Goenkas, Singhanias, Bajaj, Kirloskar rising as a big entrepreneur, and today we know all these names very well. Then we have the Industrial Policy Resolution (IPR) 1956. Then we have the established in this era. We have established public and heavy sector industries are there. Then the nationalization of banks was also done in this particular era. Then we have the number of the organization or corporations will also actually come into the picture in that particular area, like formation of the NSIC. NSIC stand for the National Small Industries Corporation. Then we have the KVIC. KVIC is Khadi and Village Industry. All are the corporate industries, you can say. Then we have the MSME. MSME stand for the Ministry of the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise. Then we have the SFC. SFC stand for the State Funding Corporation. So they are the number of these kind of the agencies come into the picture. Nice, but National Institute for Enterprise and Small Business Development. Then we have the EDII, that's the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. So like these are the number of the agencies or corporations or industries that come into the picture in that era. Okay, and along with that, family entrepreneurs were also rising in this era. Then in the 1600, the French verb entrepreneur, to undertake, we have. At the Middle Ages, actor and person in charge of the large-scale production project was there. In the 1700, what happens at the person bearing risk or profit in a fixed price contract, they will be undertaken as they are the entrepreneurs. Then in the 1725, this is basically we are talking about in case of the year that in which year we considered the entrepreneur at which level. And in the 1725, Richard Cantillon, person bearing risk is different from the capital suppliers basically. Then in 1803, Jane Baptist Say shifts economic resources out from an era of lower to the higher opportunity productivity and greater yields. Then in 1876, we have the Francis Walker, and according to him, it basically entrepreneur distinguishes between those who supplied funds and receives the interest and those who receive profit from the managerial capabilities. Okay, so they are not, according to the Francis Walker, the entrepreneur, they are not just the person who receives the interest of what they have invested in the business. Instead of that, what the Walker said, that they are the person who received the profit because of their managerial capabilities, like they had taken so many decisions in the right direction, and they mobilizes the resources. So based on that, they worked. Then in 1934, Joseph, he said the innovator and the develops untried technology, productivity and innovation, they are considered as entrepreneur. In 1961, David McClellan says that they are the highly motivated, energetic, moderate risk taker. Okay. In 1964, Peter Drucker says that they are basically the person who searches for change, responds to it, and exploits an opportunity. So basically, in the last slide and in this slide, what we are doing, we are actually summarizes the evolution of the entrepreneurship. In 1979, Kirchner, according to him, an arbitrator who discover opportunity at low price and sell at a high price because of intertemporal and interspatial demand. So basically, according to him, the entrepreneurship is more focused on the demand. So what is the demand in the market? According to they manufacture the product and they satisfy the demand. So ultimately, they are fulfilling the demand in supply chain. Then in the 1980, we have the Carl Vesper, seen differently by the economist, psychologist, businessman and the politicians. In 1983, according to the Gifford, in short, intrapreneur. word came into the picture, and the entrepreneur is an entrepreneur which is within an already established organization. Okay, so entrepreneur word come into the picture in the 1983. In 1995, according to the Robert Hisrich, an entrepreneur can be taken considered as a person who creates sometimes different with values, devoting time and effort, assuming risk, results, rewards, and satisfaction. So basically, their main focus on the leadership and vision. So you can see that from each and every era, what we are taking, we are picking out some of the characteristics of the entrepreneur. In 2008, what we have? In 2008, we have the National Knowledge Commission of India. Okay. So the professional application of knowledge, skill and competencies and or monetizing a new idea by an individual or a set of people by launching an enterprise, de novo or diversifying from an existing one, thus to pursue growth while generating wealth, employment and social goods. So in 2008, basically, this National Knowledge Commission of India came into the picture. Now, the next topic is so in the previous topic, what we have discussed about the entrepreneur and what are and how this term basically entrepreneur evolved from the past till now. Now, in this lecture, now the next topic that I will be covering, that's the charm of becoming an entrepreneur. I suppose that now why this subject is included in your syllabus. The subject is included in your syllabus because you are the 4th year, final year students, and now from the journey that you will take after this course, that it may be possible that you go into the service sector, or it may be possible that you develop your own business or set up your own business. So what are the different charms that a person can have if he or she want to become an entrepreneur? The first one is opportunity to create one's own destiny. So if you are doing this, if you're going in this particular direction that you want to develop your own entrepreneur, then in that case, you actually create your own destiny by yourself. Okay, if suppose you have some idea in your mind that you want to establish some like Ola type app. So in that case, basically that idea is in your mind. You actually take the decisions, mobilizes the resources, and you actually decide or write your destiny by your own. You are not depending on the others, but you, whatever the decisions, whatever the money, whatever the resources you collected and the decisions you will take, that totally depends upon you. So basically, you write your destiny by yourself. Opportunity to make differences. Okay, so this is an opportunity that how you make the how you can take yourself as different from the other one. Opportunity to reach one's full potential. Okay, so how you reach how you can reach your full potential, that if whatever be the guts, the skills you are having, according to that you will work and you can fulfill your potential. So that's all about the entrepreneurship in this class. So thank you to all, and further we will take up this topic in my next lecture. Thank you very much.